So welcome to a strength practice. Take a hold of some resistance bands. Basically, probably the first three lightest is what I would recommend, depending on how they're named in your pack. So it might be extra light, light and medium, or it might be light, medium and heavy. So take those out of your pack and then bring yourself to the front of your mat, the short edge. And bring the hands down by the sides of the body. Take a roll of the shoulders up towards the ears, relax them down towards the hips. Take a scan through and just check in with how you feel. Just being aware of any tight spots, any injuries you may be looking after. And then opening the eyes. And switching into a breathing pattern that works for you, maybe in and out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. On your breath in, raise the hands up towards the ceiling, interlace at the top, breath out, lean to the right. In breath back to centre, out breath, lean to the left. In breath back to centre, and cactus the arms, lift the chest. In breath back to centre, left hand forward, right hand back, rotate right. In breath back to centre, out breath, right hand forward, left hand back, rotate to the left. In breath back to centre, interlace, out breath, lean to the right. In breath back to centre, out breath, lean to the left. In breath back to centre, cactus the arms, lift the chest. In breath back to centre, out breath, left hand forward, right hand back. In breath back to centre, out breath, right hand forward, left hand back. In breath back to centre, interlace, out breath, lean to your right. In breath back to centre, out breath, lean to your left. In breath back to centre, out breath, cactus the arms, lift the chest. In breath back to centre, out breath, left hand forward, right hand back. In breath back to centre, out breath, right hand forward, left hand back. In breath back to centre, last round interlace, out breath, lean to your right. In breath back to centre, out breath, lean to your left. In breath back to centre, cactus the arms, lift the chest. In breath back to centre, out breath, left hand forward, right hand back. In breath back to centre, out breath, right hand forward, left hand back. In breath back to centre, out breath, fold from the hips, soften the knees and bring your hands down towards the mat and then take a hold of opposite elbows and let that head hang. Just taking traction through those shoulders that you've just been working quite hard through that articulation of the spine. One more breath here. And then take a hold of your two lightest bands and then slowly curl up through the spine. And when you arrive back in standing, roll the shoulders back and down. So we're going to make a choice out of which band, but hook both bands over your right thumb, bring them behind you, and then take a hold of maybe the lightest first and check whether that one feels right, or take a hold of the second lightest, your choice, whatever you work with. So once you've found your band and you can open and close with that band, making a little effort through the shoulders, we're going to come into our first standing balance. So the palms are facing back, the thumbs are hooked over the band. You put your weight into your left foot and you raise your right knee up to hip height. And then we're opening and closing for 10 behind the back of the body. 3, 4, 5, continue for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that right foot back down. Bring your weight into your right foot and bring your left leg up to hip height. So finding the balance at the same time as finding strength. Another 10. 1, 2, keep your focus. 3, 4, 5, and last 5. 4, 3, 2, last 1. And bring your left foot down to the mat. Take a little paddle of the feet. Keep a hold of the strap in the hands. On a breath in, raise the hands up towards the ceiling. On an out breath, forward from the hips. Bring the hands down to the mat and let the head hang. In breath, come to a half lift tabletop back. Out breath, plant the hands. Step your right foot back, your left foot back to meet. Whether that comes by transition of knees down and then hold plank and raise the hips and squeeze the heels back. If you wish to just place that band by the side, we're going to take a vinyasa. Forward to plank on the inhale, lowering down knees, chest, exhale. Lift up with the chin and the chest, inhale, lower the chest, exhale. Toes to kunda, chest comes back, inhale. Then lift up with the hips. As you lift the hips, squeeze the heels back on an exhale. Coming down on to the knees and bringing your right foot through in between the hands. Take a hold of that band once more. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. Bring your hands onto your right knee and bring yourself up to stack. Push nice and firm into both feet. Then take whichever band you've worked with maybe last time. Hook it over both thumbs and then bring your arms out to shoulder height. And we're opening and closing for 10, finding the firm stability into the floor. Open and close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands down, drop the back knee, bring your right knee back to meet the left, step back to plank, raise the hips, squeeze the heels back, hold down dog for a breath. So as we're holding poses, we're strengthening the legs and we're using the bands to strengthen the arms. Take a breath in, forward to plank, breath out and lower. Breath in, lifts up into your back bend. Breath out and we lower. Toes to kunda, chest comes back. Lift the hips and squeeze those heels back. Coming down onto the knees, bringing your left foot through, taking a hold of your band. Back toes to kunda, back knee lifts, hands come to the left knee and bring the body up to stack. So find your firmness through your feet. Hook the bands over both thumbs. A little curl of those thumbs so they don't slip off. Bring the arms back up to shoulder height. Palms facing down. 10 more this side. 1, really squeezing the outer shoulder as you open up. 3, 4, 5, stay relaxed through the shoulders. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands down, just place the strap by the side. Bring your left foot back to meet your right foot. Step back to plank. Lift the hips, down dog. Take a couple of breaths in down dog, letting the head hang heavy. And then coming forward to plank on the inhale. Lowering down, knees, chest, chin, exhale. Lift up through the chest in your back bend, inhale. Lower down, exhale. Toes tuck, chest comes back, inhale. Lift up with the hips as you squeeze the heels back on your exhale. Coming down onto the knees and bringing your right foot through, tucking your back toes under and lifting the back knee. This time dropping the left heel to the mat. Take the band and raise your body up to stack. This time with that left heel drop you have a little more stability. It's warrior one position. We're going to take the band over our thumbs and then raise the hands up and over the head, palms facing forward. We take 10 opening and closing here. Open out, release back, 1, 2, staying bent in your right knee, 3, shoulders facing forward, 4, 5, last 5 to go, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands down, drop your back knee to the mat, bring your right knee back to me, step back to plank. From plank, lift the hips and squeeze those heels back. Take a vinyasa, forward to plank on the inhale. You're lowering down, knees, chest, exhale. Lift up through the chest on the inhale. Lower the chest, exhale. Toes tuck, chest comes back. Lift the hips and squeeze the heels back. A moment in down dog. Then come down on to the knees. Bring your left foot through. If arms are starting to fatigue, you can always drop down in your tension of your strap. Lift your back knee, drop your right heel, take your band. And then start to raise the body up to stack. So that right heel's down on this pose. Hook over the thumbs, raise the hands up, palms face forward. And we take 10 here. Open and close. 1, 2, stay low in the hips, strengthening them legs. 3, 4, 5, last 5 to go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands down, place the hands to the mat, drop the back knee, step back then to plank, and from plank, lift the hips and squeeze the heels back. So let's take ourselves through a vinyasa, forward to plank on the inhale, lowering down on the exhale, lifting up through the chest on the inhale, lowering back on your exhale. Toes tuck, chest comes back. Lift up with the hips and squeeze those heels back. Coming down onto the knees and bringing your right foot through. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee. It may be you want to take the second strongest or third strongest up with you on this one. Drop the left heel to the mat. Wingle the left arm up and over and have the straps in the right. So you can decide first which feels good. So just test the strap out. I will be taking the third strongest resistance. So taking that over your right thumb, and your right thumb curls over and stays straight. So we've got warrior, 2 legs, and warrior, 2 right arm. Then you hook your hand over the strap, and we're going to pull that left hand back to our left shoulder 10 times. Release it back and release it back forward. The right arm stays straight. Pull that right arm back, squeeze the shoulder blades and release it forward. That's 2. That's 3. Staying low in the hips. 4. 5. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Bring the hands down, release the strap, step back to plank, and from plank, lift up with the hips, squeeze the heels back, down dog. Take yourself through a vinyasa, forward to plank, inhale, lowering down on your exhale, lifting up with the chest, inhale, lower the chest, exhale. Toes to kunda, chest comes back. Then lift the hips and squeeze those heels back. Holding down dog for a breath. Coming down onto the knees, bringing your left foot through. I'll be facing away from the camera here, but we're doing exactly the same as what we did on the other side. Back knee lifts, back heel drops, take the strap in the left hand. Right hand reaches up and over to find that warrior 2 position. And then your thumb points up, that left arm stays straight. You take a hold of the strap with the right hand, and then we're pulling that right arm and right hand back to the right shoulder. Pull the strap back and release it back forward. Stay low in the hips, strengthening those legs. That's 2. And 3. Shoulders relaxed except for the hard work of pulling back. 4. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. 5. Last 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Bring the hands down and release the strap. Stepping back to a plank position, and then lifting the hips, squeezing the heels back to down dog. Take a vinyasa, forward to plank on your inhale, lowering down on your exhale, lifting up with the chest on the inhale, lowering the chest, exhale, toes to kunda, chest comes back, inhale, lift up with the hips and squeeze the heels back on your exhale. Come down onto the knees and bring your right foot through. Tuck your back toes under, lift the back knee. So I'm going to take my second strongest strap, but if you want to take a couple, bring them with you and walk your hands around to the center of the mat. Soften the knees, bring the hands to the hips, curl up through the spine. Your toes are in front of the heels here, and then roll the shoulders back and down. Taking your strap behind you, and you hook it over your thumbs. Take a good breath in high, and then an out breath to fold to a half fold. You hold your half fold here. Your strap can stay at your lower back, or you can raise the hands up slightly, palms facing towards the front. And we're opening and closing for 10 here. Open out and release back. If the hands are lower, that's absolutely fine. That's 2. So we're using back muscles in the pose to hold us in this compromised position. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Bring the hands back to the hips. Start to lift the body up to stack. Turn your right toes back to the front, bend to the right knee, plant the hands down, drop the back knee, and make your way back to a plank. And from plank, lift the hips, squeeze the heels back, down dog. Forward to plank on the inhale, and lowering down on your exhale, lifting up through the chest on the inhale, lower the chest down, exhale, toes to kunda, chest comes back, lift up with the hips and squeeze the heels back. So I'm just going to turn around and take this from the other side. So bringing your left foot through so I can face the front, tucking your back toes under, lifting the back knee, dropping your right heel, windmill up and over, turn to the long edge of your mat, kick your heels in and turn your toes out. So taking 2 straps, because it depends on what feels right for you, and you take them over the elbows. So I'm going to go with the 3rd strongest strap, and once they are over, they're actually over your forearms, and then you bring the palms to face, you sink into the knees, so we're finding goddess pose, and the shoulders and elbows are in one long line. We are opening and closing for 10. Open out, slowly release back. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, last 5, 4, 3, keep the hips low, 2, and 1. Release the strap, turn back to your left foot, bring the hands down, drop down to the knees, and then find your way into plank position. Lift the hips, squeeze the heels back, and then take yourself through a vinyasa. Forward to plank inhale, lowering on your exhale, lifting up through the chest on the inhale, lowering back down, exhale, toes tuck, chest comes back, inhale, and lift up with the hips and squeeze the heels back on your exhale. Head hanging heavy, just take a couple of breaths in down dog. And then starting to walk the feet forward to the centre of the mat, and then bring the hands back to me. Take a hold of opposite elbows, let the head hang. Okay, take 2 straps that you feel you may use and curl up through the spine. We're taking another standing balance, and when you arrive in standing, roll the shoulders back and down. So I'm going to mirror image you on this one. We're going to be taking tree legs. So find which strap where one hand stays up, and we'll be pulling it to the opposite hip. So depending on what strength you want to work with, and we'll be doing 10 on both sides. So bringing your weight into your right foot. I'm going to mirror image you actually, so left foot for you. Bend the right knee and turn that right knee out. And then bring that foot to place on the inside of that left leg somewhere. And then take your left hand to reach up. And you're going to be keeping that left hand up high. We're going to be keeping the balance. And then take your right hand to take a hold of the strap. And this time we're going to be pulling that hand down towards your right hip. Pull it down and release it back up. Fist with that band and release back up. So you're almost pulling across your body. That's 3. Focusing on your balance. That's 4. That's 5. Just go down as far as you can go with the band. That's last 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Release the hands down. Bring that right foot back to plank. Take the band now into your right foot. And then bring a bend into your left knee and turn that knee out. Weight into your right foot this time. And then just bring that foot to the inside of that right leg. Find your balance first, then raise up through your right hand. Take your left hand to hold the strap, and we'll be pulling it down to our left hip, but the right hand stays high. So pull the strap down and slowly let it raise back up, crossing the body as you pull. So working the tricep muscles on that left arm. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Bring the hands down, bring the foot down, and take a little paddle of the feet. Making your way down onto your bum and bringing your straps with you. And when you make your way onto a seat, pull the sit bones back, legs nice and straight. I'm going with the third strongest band and hooking it over my feet. So we're going to be doing rows here. So the hands hook under the band. You curl your toes so there's no availability of that band flicking off. And we're going to pull the hands back towards the rib cage. Pull back, stay tall through the spine, pull the shoulders back and the elbows beyond the ribs, and release it slowly back to the front. 10 of these. All the time with the crown of the head tall, rooted through sit bones, long legs. That's 3. So shoulders stay down and relaxed, but you squeeze between the shoulder blades as you pull back. That's 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. Okay, keeping the strap over the feet and just bring the heels in towards you and hook your hands over the strap. So we're just going to see if we can find a balance on the sit bones here. So holding on to that strap and just letting your feet come up towards knee height. And we'll just find that balance first, and we keep our hands just in front of our knees. They don't change, elbows raised up high as your shoulders. So we're going to see if we can find straight legs. We'll just go for 5 here. So push the legs out, release the knees back. We have 4 more of those. So you have to all the time keep trying to find your balance with your core. That's 2. 3, 4, going to go for 10. If you need to stop at any point, that's 5. Last 5 to go. So the body slightly goes back as you kick the legs out. Last 3. And then hold the bent knees for a breath if you can. And then release those feet back to the mat. Releasing the strap, straightening the legs out. Arms out to shoulder height. And then we're going to slowly make our way down towards the mat. And when the head and shoulders meet the floor, rest the head, rest the shoulders. And then bring your right knee in towards you and hook your third strongest strap over it. And then point your right foot up towards the ceiling and hook your hands under or over the strap. In fact, over the strap might be better. Curl your toes so the strap can't release off the foot, almost pointing through that foot. So the shoulders have the hands stacked over them at all times. The hands don't move. And we're going to lower the right leg and then slowly let it release back. And we have 10 on this side. So that's 1. Resisting with the hands from pulling forward. 2. So this is working your glute and your hamstrings. 3. 4. 5. Last 5 to go this side. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Just release the arms for a moment and feed the strap into the left foot, and your right leg now comes long onto the mat. And then push your left foot up towards the ceiling and then slightly point through the toes so the band can't flick off. Hands are over the shoulders. We're taking 10 on this side, so the hands don't change. Pull the left leg forward and slowly let it release back. That's 1. 9 more to go. Really works the shoulder muscles as we're resisting the pull. That's 2. 3. 4. 5. 5 more to go. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Bring your right foot now into the strap and then feed that strap up the legs and just bring it just above your knees. Let the hands rest by the side of the body and then bring your feet to plant hip width apart. So we're going to be moving up into a bridge position. Maybe just heel toe your feet actually a little further than hip width. And as you raise up, you lift the hips, you bring the chin towards the chest, and then we're opening the knees out when our hips are lifted and slowly bringing them back. Hips stay lifted at all times. And we take this for 10. So that's 2. 3, maybe you roll slightly to the outside edges of the feet as you open the knees out. 4, 5, last 5 to go. 5, keep the hips high. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly let those hips come down to the mat. Bring the knees in towards you, forehead towards the knees, and take a squeeze of that body. And then let the head lower, remove the strap, place it to the side. Cactus the arms, let the knees drop outwardly, and maybe have a little rock of those hips from side to side. Just giving your lower back a little self-massage. And then bringing the knees in together and heel toe the feet out to the edges. Take knees together to drop internally for a few breaths. And then drop your knees to the right side and your gaze to your left elbow. Maybe bringing your right hand on top of that right knee to help it pull down. Stretching through the hip flexor on that left leg. Bring those knees back to center and cactus the right arm. Let them drop internally for a breath. And then dropping your knees to the left side, the gaze to the right side. Maybe your left hand comes onto the left knee to help it down. And then bring in the knees slowly back to center. Bring the left arm back to cactus arms. Heel toe the feet together, the knees together. And then just windscreen wipe the legs from right to left. Taking 3 rounds. Just to neutralize through that spine. One more both directions. And then bringing them back to the center. Bringing the hands down by the sides of the body. You can stay in TP legs if you wish here, or straighten the legs out long to the ends of the mat so that you're fully relaxed. Bring the hands down by the sides and palms are facing up. And just take a few moments here. So you can stay here for as long as you wish and just consolidate everything you've just done, resting the body. Take a good long deep breath in and a long sigh out through the mouth. From my heart to yours, Namaste.